Hello, I have graded your critique of Liz Addison's 2 years are better than four, and you can view the grades and turn it in by going to, you just go, I think, to the major writing assignments. You can go to critique and find the assignment that you submitted, click on view complete, and you will be able to read some comments. There's a wide range in the grades because some of us are new to this. This is the new assignment. You've never been asked to say whether or not something is good in an academic paper. So I want to talk about an example of a critique that was submitted this summer that I thought the student did really well. This is a critique of 2 years are better than four. You can view the PDF right here, but I wanted to have a video that goes along with it, and Acrobat's being really funny, so I'm sorry. Anyway, so here we are. Critique of 2 years better than four. This is something that was submitted, and you can see this is the Turnitin graded version. And so you'll be able to scroll down and see the various comments. Really, I thought the student did a pretty good job. I like what the student did. It's not just a compare and contrast of Addison and Perlstein, but it's looking at what Addison says and then saying, well, that's not quite what Perlstein had said. I asked for a little bit more summary into the introduction as opposed to what the student actually does. So if we scroll up, sorry for the scrolling if it makes you sick. 2 years better than four is an essay by Liz Addison and a response to what's a math college by Rick Perlstein. So right there we have a summary of the situation, the context. And he throws in all these quotes, which I think is a little confusing. I know he's just trying to be precise and exact in telling us what is said. But we get the idea of Perlstein. And then we have Addison's response is to show that student life isn't gone, but the philosophy of knowledge is just to begin with self-discoveries. We could probably use a little bit more about that. But while this essay is fine on its own, this is where it's a flawed response. So we have a kind of a thesis. So this entire paragraph sets us up to know what this essay or this writing assignment is. The student tells us what he is reading and responding to, and then gives us somewhere to go. Here's where I'm going to take you on this paper. That Addison's essay is fine on its own, but it's flawed as a response. That works. Then we have a summary of what she claims. He says that Addison's claim that community college is better than going to university, which is fine, but then he points out that this is not what Perlstein was saying. He wasn't writing about the difference between community colleges and four-year schools. Instead, we get a little bit of history to help us know that, okay, well, Addison is not telling us the full story. And in fact, we could use a little bit more in here about what examples Perlstein and Addison give, but that would be not. It's fine as it is, but I would like a little bit more. Addison starts off with her essay with an introduction, which is good, so we're getting a little more summary. We get a quote, which is good. It's a jab at Doug Mitchell. And we start to see how the essay kind of is shaped from the student. The student tells us what Addison's saying. And then a little bit more summary. It's good. He tells us what she thinks of him or how he interprets it, and then explains why it's not quite right. He may consider that college has begun to disappear as a discrete experience, but has never implied the younger generation to be lesser than himself. Also, they're the same age. So we get a good breakdown of the Addison essay in that paragraph. Feels like there's something missing here. I would like a little bit more, but that's fine. We start to wrap up the conclusion that it's not bad by itself. Added selection vocabulary can be captured at times. It's understandable how it won third place. We don't really know what place it won, but it was sharp. So that's good. But as a response, it doesn't hold much weight to Perlstein's paper. It seems like she skimmed through the essay and focused on what caught her eye, such as Mitchell's experience with midnight bands. Good barks, but not a whole lot of bite. So I really like that conclusion. I would like to have this idea right here with the quote to be followed up with something. We don't just throw a quote out there. Instead, we need to explain why it's there. So we have our works cited. It should have begun on a new page. Sometimes formatting messes up, but overall the student did a good job summarizing Addison's argument and distilling it to 1 or 2 points. That she made some good comments to community colleges, but wasn't responding to Perlstein's assertion that community college or the college experience has changed. Instead, she just lays into him. So hopefully if you read through this, you can kind of see more along the lines of what I'm looking for. A lot of our papers were either just summaries of Addison and Perlstein. I had a lot of compare and contrast. That's not quite what a critique asks you to do. A critique asks you to break something down and say whether or not it is good. So hopefully these examples, which you will be able to see right in here, and I'll post a video right below it, will be beneficial as you revise your critique, because I would like you to revise. So good luck. Thank you.